Doesn't it feel like AI is moving way too fast? Do you feel maybe that you're constantly struggling just to keep up, or you haven't even jumped in at all because you feel like you are consistently behind? There's a new tool, a new update, a new must have feature. It's going to solve all my problems. It's going to make me a ton of money. It's going to replace me. There's all these things out there that we have to worry about and have to consider. But here's the truth. If you feel like you're too late getting in or it's just too overwhelming, you don't have to feel that way. That's what I'm here for. All you need is a better strategy. I'm Harrison Painter, and this is the AI for Everyone podcast. This is our AI micro training series brought to you by Blazing Academy. And the whole focus here is just to make AI practical, useful, and human-centered for all of you professionals out there. We want to make sure that you are staying ahead, that you're not getting left behind. That's the most important thing to us. And today we're going to tackle count them three, 1, 2, 3 reasons why AI feels overwhelming to you. Let's talk about it. Challenge number 1, AI overload. Too many options, not enough clarity. What do we do? Think about all the tools that you've heard about over the last year, maybe 6 months. If you're new, maybe just a few months or a few weeks. There's ChatGPT, there's Claude, there's Perplexity, there's HeyGen, there's Descript, there's 11 Labs, there's Midjourney, there's Dolly, there's Chrome extensions. It just never, ever stops. And if you spend any time on social media, say a platform like X or LinkedIn or YouTube or anywhere else for that matter, it seems like new tools are coming at you every day. This is the latest and greatest. This is amazing. This is going to solve your problems. And it's a lot of hype. And it can make you feel like you're missing out. But let's be real. How many of those are actually going to stick? Well, it's way too early to tell, but the only way that I can put this into a reference that some of you might understand is if you remember back in the days of mobile apps, and I worked in mobile app development for a period of time in my career, we thought we would have thousands of mobile apps on our phone. It was the kind of new way. We didn't use the web as much. Everything was going to be mobile app based. Well, one thing we learned, and yes, there's hundreds of thousands of apps out there, but the average user, I believe the number is something like uses 8 apps pretty religiously. Power users might use a lot more, but we're not using hundreds of apps. I mean, I use a lot of apps, but I'm not even close to hundreds by any means. That is one challenge. And then you have the challenge of there's so many different apps for so many different things. So when you have too many options, when you're seeing all these new tools come out, it's kind of hard to really know what's going to stick and where you should invest your time and money. The good news is with this AI overload, here's your fix. Here's your solution. Write this down because I think this is very important because the hype will get you. I promise you, this will help you kind of slow down on the hype. What you need to build is a minimum viable toolkit, and I'll explain what that means. And here's how you start building that kit. I want you to find one problem that you have. Just one, maybe it's a small problem, something you would like to automate, just something you would like to make your life easier. And then I want you to do some research and find one tool and one tool only that you're going to use to solve that problem. And then I want you to master that tool and ignore all the rest of the noise that's out there. Here's how you get started. And you know I'm serious because I now have a pen in my hand. If you're listening to the podcast, I know you can't see this, but when I have a pen in my hand, I'm serious. Okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to identify a recurring problem that you have or a challenge. Something that you just don't like to do or it's annoying, any of those things. That's number 1. Define what that problem or challenge is. Just make it a simple one for now. Just one of those very annoying things. Then I want you, number 2, to find a tool that will help you solve that problem. And then I want you to master that tool before you go on to any other tool. Now, for example, let's say that you just want to summarize a report or a letter or something that you got that is a little bit laborious to read. I just want the bullet points out of this thing. I don't want to sit here and read War and Peace today. Well, you could easily use a tool like ChatGPT, and I absolutely recommend if you're just brand new into AI, ChatGPT is a great place to start. It's still my most used tool, and I've been in this space for a couple of years now, and it's amazing. It's just endless what you can. I learn new things that I can do inside of ChatGPT every single day. And when you do this, you're copy and pasting, or you're uploading a Word doc or PDF or a website, whatever that is, and you're going to learn how to write better prompts, how to summarize it, how to bullet point it, how to get out of it what I want. What is the target demographic maybe that I'm speaking to? You know, the video I shared the other day, what are the behavioral profiles of my team? How do I need to speak to them? If I'm getting ready to do a presentation based on this summarization, I can craft the language and the way that I'm speaking to meet my team where they're at. Master those prompts. Bring your human wisdom, your experience to the way that you're prompting to get the most out of it. Do that just for a week or two. Just master that concept before you move on to somewhere else. I promise you this will alleviate a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, a lot of FOMO. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, all of this stuff is going to change very, very rapidly. And the platforms you use today are either not going to exist anymore, or they're going to change so much you're not going to recognize them. But the one thing that you will always bring to the table, again, I preach this in almost every video, your wisdom, your experience to the table. Don't allow AI to replace you. Make sure that you are guiding the intent, bringing your wisdom to the table, and getting the most out of AI before AI gets the most out of you. And quote me on this. AI is not about having more tools. AI is about having the right tools and using them effectively. That brings us to challenge number 2, and that is prompt fatigue. AI is supposed to make our lives easier, but as you get deeper into prompting, you realize maybe I'm using the same prompts over and over, but I'm not getting the result that I want. Maybe I found a great prompt and I forgot it. Maybe I've copy and pasted these things on Word docs and spreadsheets and email, and I just have them all over the place. If you're not a very organized person, I'm usually not, and I feel every ounce of your pain. But let's fix prompt fatigue, because there is one really easy, super easy solution if you're a Chrome user, Safari user, that's called a text expander extension. Let's go take a look at what that is, how easy it is for you to use, and why this will cure all of your prompt fatigue. This is really cool. I think you're going to find a lot of value out of this. Just Google text expander, Google Chrome extension, and it will lead you to this page here. The domain's too long, but if you can see it, there it is up top. Now, the cool thing about this, you just basically click this button. Right now, mine says remove from Chrome because I already have it installed, but yours will say install to Chrome, I believe. So you'll click that. You'll have to sign up for the account. Super easy. You just name and sign in. It's that easy. And then you're going to find it in your browser. If you're on Chrome, the little kind of puzzle piece here, you click that and you'll see all your extensions. Make sure to click the pin button right there. Make sure that it's blue. And you'll notice if you look right here, when you unpin it, it's gone. When you click the pin, it's there. So it's just super easy for you to find. Now, what we're going to do is go over here to ChatGPT and look how cool this is. So you're going to click the extension and you're going to click this add new snippet. And you'll see this snippet come up. What we're going to do is we're going to go through this, how to put your prompts. You can store all of your prompts here. That's what makes it cool. So you don't have to retype, go find it, memorize any of that stuff, you can just store them in this text expander. So in this case, I'm just going to pick plain text, just make it super easy. I am going to paste one of my prompts in here. I have a meta prompt, my PromptIQ. I'll show you where to find PromptIQ here in a little while, but you just plug that in. See what I mean? It's just so easy. You just plug it in. Then you're going to label this. So in my case, I'm going to label this PromptIQ. Then you go down to this abbreviation. What I like to do is 2 forward slashes, boom, boom, and then do PromptIQ or name it whatever you want to name it. And remember, this is going to be case sensitive, but you also can ignore case or other things there. I like to keep mine case sensitive. Think of it as your password type of thing. And, usually that's going to stick into your memory. And you have this option down here of group. You can create your own group. So this could just be a prompt group. For now, I'm just going to do my snippets, make it super easy. And then I'm going to open my text expander here. Now, when you open this up, you'll see if you've got a bunch of prompts in here, where they're at. Now, look how cool this is. I'm just going to go to ChatGPT. I'm going to do my 2 forward slashes. Boom. There's your prompt. It is that simple. Now, after the prompt's in, you can just go down and type in whatever you want. And then whatever your problem is, you put it in there and you're good to go. Okay, the PromptIQ method. I have a full free webinar. It is available on blazing.org. That's BLAIZING.org. And if you go there, you will go into workshops and certifications, click Explore All, scroll down to the bottom here, past events, and you'll find this link, an introduction to PromptIQ, a human-centered approach to AI success. You'll click that, and then you can just watch the webinar. You don't even have to do anything, just super simple, and that will walk you through the process. Now, if you're a marketing professional, you can go to my website, harrisonpainter.com. If you go there on the homepage, you'll see up top here, meta prompts. Just click that, then click Get Prompt. This will explain the entire framework for you. It will give you a very basic overview of the PromptIQ framework. This is a mega prompt. If you are interested in marketing, you can just click that copy prompt right there, and then it kind of gives you why the framework works. I even have the fog behavioral model inside of this. So I think that's a great resource for you. It will be up on Blazing soon. We just haven't had time to get it up there yet, but stay tuned for that. Your key takeaway from challenge number 2 is simply this. It's not just about writing better prompts, but it's about making AI easier to use every single day. And that brings us to challenge number 3, and that's the AI Avalanche. Look, updates are coming fast. I don't want you to get buried in the avalanche of all the news that's coming. So I recommend something that I call the impact loop. The impact loop. And it's simply 2 steps in order to avoid the AI avalanche. The first one is just find 2 or 3 trusted sources that you enjoy. Now, I might be biased, but I do think one of those sources should be the AI for Everyone podcast, the AI micro trainings, or at this point, not so micro trainings that we're putting together. You can go to our Blazing LinkedIn page. There we post up these training videos every week. We do have a newsletter that's very educational focused. You can follow me on LinkedIn, Harrison Painter. I put out more news and kind of cool stuff that I find up to date, like the freshest information I can find out there. And I also have a newsletter there as well. Both those newsletters, again, they're through LinkedIn. So we're not spamming you. We want to keep it as non-invasive as possible. And LinkedIn, I feel, is the best place to do that instead of sending you a bunch of emails. And the second step to that is just make sure you're taking weekly, if not daily, action. Experiment every day, at least every week, but preferably every day in platforms like ChatGPT. Just practice those prompts. Put prompts that work into your auto text expander. Always look around at what problems can you solve? What annoyances are in front of you? How can you make your job, your life easier? And that is the impact loop. And I think that brings us, I think I covered everything here. So just remember, AI is not about keeping up. It's about building systems that work for you. Cut through the AI overload. Just make sure that you are, less tools, but master the ones that you're using. You can beat that prompt fatigue with using something like that text expander that you just learned about today. Super easy way to put the prompts that you find that really work in a location that's very easily accessible, and you can use them anytime you want that way. And of course, like, subscribe, share this podcast, these videos, our content, because we want to make sure that nobody, and I mean nobody, gets left behind. And I think that's it. So my name is Harrison Painter. This has been the AI Not So Micro Training, part of the AI for Everyone podcast. And as always, keep creating, keep innovating, and keep up.